Hello there. I'm the creator of Tyrants of Norogoth. Apologies for my voice because I have a bit of a cold. But today I'm going to be showing you how to create a level 1 character. This fillable character sheet is available for free along with the beta on my itch.io page. Link is in the description. With that, a quick disclaimer that as of making this video, we're still in beta, so some of this might change by the final version of the game. But I do think that we can pretty safely say that this part of the game is more or less how it'll stay. Some stats and specific abilities might change here and there, but the gist of it should be usable as we go forward. Another quick thing, you can do all of this in a different order if you prefer. This is just the way I've found it easiest for myself, as I've made different characters for the tests we've run. With that out of the way, we've got our character sheet in front of us. We're going to be using this character for future videos, so I want to make him a bit of a jack of all trades, which is very much doable and viable in this game. Hopefully you'll come to see why in future videos. So first we're going to select the race. We're going to make a hobgoblin because I feel those haven't gotten enough love lately. I haven't made any hobgoblin characters so far for myself, so let's see how it goes. We've got everything we need for that on the page here, so the speed, the bonuses, food requirements, all of that. So let's just quickly fill those in. We named him Boris, because I don't know, I thought that was appropriate. And I added all the bonus stats and the mastery point in command you get here. Now you'll want to check what having a mastery point in command actually does later on. But I've personally found with level 1 characters, it's easiest to do that just at the very end when you've figured out all of your mastery points. Because otherwise you'll be going back and forth a lot as you build the character. And while we're here, we're going to distribute the rest of our stats. So at level 1, you get 10 stat points to distribute freely in addition to any bonuses. Just keep in mind that 5 is the absolute maximum unless it's like a temporary bonus from a potion or something. This is how I've distributed them for Boris. And we added the Reptile Sense Maneuver, which is an ability hobgoblins get once per day. And we have also added the bonus to see 3 yards or 3 squares on a battle map ahead of you in the dark, which, as a reminder, most races can only see 1 yard ahead in this game. Darkness is a real problem in this game, so 3 yards might not sound like a lot, but comparatively it is. Usually you'll have to break out the torches when you're in darkness. That is pretty much it for race. So next we'll choose the origin. Hobgoblins can pick from troll origins or universal origins. I'm kind of imagining Boris as a bit of an experiment gone wrong. We'll see what we can do with that, but let's maybe pick an origin that fits. So for that, I'm feeling the Vatborn origin. I think it can also lead to some interesting role-playing opportunities later down the line, so let's add all of these bonuses in. We get a bunch of mastery points, another perk, this Golden King's off 41, and our first starting gear. So I've gone to equipment, I put all of it on, and I like putting the bonuses in these brackets here. So it's easier to manage later if you want to swap around equipment, take stuff off or replace it with something else. It's easy to forget what you had at the base. So we get a nice 4 AR or armor rating from this starting gear alone, and I've picked the gear he has the right mastery points for. So this War Spear, because I gave him a mastery point in spear fighting. So that should be all good. I also recommend marking down your weapon attacks in abilities, because every weapon in this game uses different dice for both attacks and damage. Next, we're gonna choose his home region. Now with some origins, some of their perks might tie into their home region. But that's not the case with the Vatborn, so here it's mostly just flavor and lore. We're gonna go with Kuldrak since that makes most sense for a Vatborn Hobgoblin. And this is just a screenshot of the section on Kuldrak from the lore book. Now we're almost ready to choose his path, which is essentially your class in Tyrants of Norogoth. Although you'll have multiple of these at higher levels, but let's not get into that right now. Because before we do that, let's pick his milestone perk. Since, to be honest with you, when I've ran a couple tests in this game, this is something a lot of players seem to forget. So let me explain it. It's probably my fault too. So there's some kind of miscommunication that tends to happen at this point. So you pick a new milestone perk at every milestone level. So those are levels 1, 5, 10, and 15. These are also the levels where you pick up an extra path. So that's one way to remember it. And milestone perks generally come with both benefits and drawbacks. So they really help differentiate one character from another. Now, I considered giving him the Mutant milestone perk, since we talked about him being a bit of an experiment gone wrong. But we also want to make him a jack of all trades, and we have no points in alchemy, so that Mutant perk is not going to really help us that much. So instead, I decided to go for this Deathless perk. It's really hard to actually get magic at level 1. Most paths, even the Scholar path that does have it, has it at level 2, I believe. So these milestone perks are a way to get magic a little earlier. So maybe Maurice was killed and reanimated somewhere in the dungeons of Kuldrak as part of his backstory. Which means we now have necromancy, and also a little penalty to fortitude. And that actually brings it back down to 0, so maybe we can try to fix this later on, because we're really not going to have a lot of health like this. Now we're finally at the path. I like the Militia path for Burries. I think it kind of fits his vibe so far. He was created as a soldier for the Golden King after all. And we reached level 2. When we reach level 2, we can grab that nice bonus to fortitude I was talking about before. So we can actually bump up our health a little bit. We can't do that yet, but maybe in future videos we'll let him level up a little bit. For now, let's add all of these mastery points in. We're going to take a point in firearms and the second point in spear fighting. We're going to take a point in taming, since we're going to be quite squishy, so an animal friend would be a great help to us. And that point in armor. Your path really determines how you can distribute your skills, as you can see. And we're also going to drop in that military service perk, which will help us get some more gear later on. We've got quite a lot of gear, new gear as well. Most of the times, paths don't give you extra gear, or really extra money or anything like that. But level 1 specifically, they do. Just so you have a little bit more wiggle room when you're making your level 1 character, and you're not just stuck with the stuff you get from your origin. So we're going to be clever. We're going to replace the first skirt with a holster, and we're going to give him some lever hose with a nice DR bonus, and also so he's not just wearing a holster with nothing underneath. We're gonna give him a matchlock arquebus, since he doesn't have a ranged weapon as of now, and a matchlock pistol, since the holster we just got him also lets us carry an extra one-handed weapon. So now we can finally start putting everything together. His stamina is 3 plus 3 times focus, sanity is 3 plus 3 times willpower, which is 6. AR is just from equipment, that's a 4. MD is 2 plus 2 times willpower, and DR is 2 plus 2 times finesse. Plus that bonus from his lever hose that we just put on, for a total of 11. Health, unfortunately, is 10 plus 10 times fortitude, so he only has 10 health. So he's quite nimble with a lot of stamina and some armor, but underneath that shell, he's quite squishy. And also, something I want to note here is that you don't necessarily gain new hit points when you level up in this game. So progression in this game, it doesn't really work like that. You don't sort of just inflate in terms of your health and you know, those numbers don't just get bigger and bigger every level. You only gain extra health when it comes up that you get an extra point in fortitude. So yeah, that's essentially how progression works in this game. You'll have to be a little bit clever with how you level up, but that also applies to enemies. There are not that many health sponge enemies in this game. But we're finally getting there. Like I said, you should check what each of these mastery points actually gives you. So for instance, those 2 points in spear fighting let us actually make 2 spear attacks per turn and give us that nice reach advantage ability. So it's worth going through all of those when you've kind of got an idea of what the mastery points your level 1 character are going to have are. In particular, I want to draw attention to the necromancy point we got, since magic is a bit special in this game. With 1 point we're fine, but you'll notice as you get better at magic, you start getting these debuffs as well. So this is a low fantasy setting. Magic is really risky business, let's put it that way, and that's going to have effects on your character. All the different magic skills, they have different effects. But on the plus side, we do get free tier 1 necromancy spells. Let's check some of those out, see what we like from this list here. So I decided to pick Lesser Zombie, since another ally in battle will always help. Bound Beast, in case our tamed animals, which we get from our taming skill, die. And Bone Armor, to give us a little bonus to AR, since we're squishy. And that's really about it. You can add in your backstory, anything else you think is relevant, allies, enemies, things like that. If this is a bit overwhelming, just remember that making your character at level 1 takes the longest. Leveling up in Tyrants of Norogoth is actually fairly quick and straightforward. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please like and subscribe for future content. Also check the link in the description if you want to try out the game for yourself. The beta is free, and there's a lot more updates coming soon, so stay tuned.